In this video, I'll show you how to create an outstanding resume so that you can land your dream project management job. Let's get into it. All resources and information I'll be providing in a guide linked in the description of this video, so definitely check that out. Okay, with that being said, let's go into the resources. What are the best templates for you to use for your resume? There are a lot of different options out there. I've linked a couple of my favorites, one of which being Indeed Resume Builder. Indeed has a lot of different resume templates, which are really nice depending on the organization and the job that you're applying to. And for the purposes of this video, I'm actually using a resume template that I found on Reddit. So shout out to Sheets Giggles for providing the Microsoft document template, free for everyone to use. And while the name Sheets Giggles is pretty funny, the template is no laughing matter. This resume is very solid, very professional, and includes all the information that you would want to provide when trying to create an outstanding resume. For those who are trying to create a resume from scratch, here are my 5 guiding principles to really help you focus on what's important. Number 1, keep the formatting consistent. Don't use different texts, don't use different fonts. Make sure that everything is in the exact same font and style. Number 2, for most of you, your resume should be a maximum of 1 page. 1 page may seem like a lot of material, but you have a lot of different information and sections which we'll go into. So it's very important that you strategically highlight the areas that are most important. Tip number 3, do not include pictures. As cool as it is to associate a face with a name, recruiters and hiring managers, they don't care about that, and it takes up more space. Tip number 4, make your resume as easy to read as possible. Realistically, recruiters and hiring managers, they probably don't spend more than 30 seconds briefly reviewing through your resume. Highlight the key points and move on. And last tip, number 5, one of the most important ones. When you draft your resume, try to make it as specific to the job that you're applying for. I recommend if you have a couple of jobs that you're interested in working for, make sure you click on the job descriptions and you read about the qualifications. You'll want to cater your resume to target those skill sets in those qualifications to make sure you stand out. This method is very helpful with allowing you to target the exact skill set the company is looking for. Now that we know how to create an all-star resume, I'm gonna walk you through an example that we can create together. So for this example, I'm using the template provided by Sheets Giggles. At the very top, you'll want to include your professional name and then also phone number, email, and I usually include the city and state where I'm based in. Peeling back another layer, we get to the work experience. Personally, I keep it to 4 dot points maximum when describing each role or position that I worked in. Make sure that your sentences or descriptions are very action-oriented. The way I break this down is, first describe the action. So what is it that you did? Follow that up with what the result was. So who or what was impacted, and quantifiable if possible. So let's say you're a project manager for a software company and you've been focused on integrations between different clients. An example statement that you could say is, you created the first integration playbook, which resulted in successful API integrations with major clients, which you can call out, leading to X amount increase in yearly revenue. Notice how the beginning statement is action-oriented. We talked about how you created a process, and that's followed with the result or the impact. So what was the impact? There were successful API integrations with these clients, and the total revenue generated from the work that you did was $5 million. It's very important to make these metrics and your impact as quantifiable as possible, because that shows organizations what the tangible value was of what you did. If you find yourself in a position without as much work experience, feel free to add additional dot points or beef up the positions and roles that you have been a part of. If you have extensive work experience and it's difficult to choose which roles you want to call out, utilize the job descriptions for any jobs that you're applying towards, and then really pick and choose the ones that most fit. Okay, so let's go into education now. I would typically include your education if you have less than 5 years of working experience. Use this section to highlight any major accolades, any accomplishments, any scholarships or achievements. If you have over 5 years of work experience, really consider if the education section makes sense to include. Some reasons to include your education are, if you went to a prestigious university that's well known, if you have any master's degrees or higher levels of education aside from your bachelor's. When adding in the education, I like to ask myself the following questions. Is the school really worth highlighting? Does the education support the skill set or qualifications that I want to show for the job? If the answers to both of those questions are no, it may make sense to remove education altogether and focus your content more so on your professional experience. Okay, so let's get into projects and community involvement. I like to include this section because it really highlights who you are as a person outside of your professional experience. This is a great section to call out any fun projects that you've been working on or any volunteering that you've done on the side. If you already have strong work experience, this is a great section to really showcase your personality and what you're passionate about. So in my case, for example, I use that section to highlight that I was a Yelp Elite member. I wrote over 110 reviews for local Madison, Wisconsin restaurants. And I also called out some volunteering and tutoring that I did on the side. Okay, and last but not least, I think it's important to include a skills/additional information section. This last section is to really highlight any certifications, awards, or unique skills that you have. So for example, for project managers, if you've done additional learning certifications, such as your CAPM or your PMP, definitely call those out. Those are super helpful and jobs love to see that. If you're bilingual, call out the other language that you're fluent in. Call out any platforms or services that you're skilled using, whether that's Jira, any project management platforms, Google, Microsoft Suite, Salesforce, and any other CRM tools. Now that we covered all the sections in a resume, I really hope you find this video helpful in helping you craft and update your resume. There are always new resume templates out there. I think the most important thing to focus on is the content rather than the style. Keep it simple, make it easy to read, and really make the work that you've been doing the star of the show here. Thanks so much for watching. Please comment below if you have any questions about how to craft your resume. Like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.